In this video, we'll talk about why avoidants take space and why they do it without a warning. So at least 5 out of every 10 people I coach tell me something very similar. They'll say something like this: I had no idea they were about to leave, everything seemed fine, and then suddenly they were gone. This pattern of sudden withdrawal is one of the most painful and confusing aspects of loving someone with an avoidant attachment style. And today we're going to uncover 3 crucial things about why avoidants take space and why they do it without that freaking warning. So first, we'll talk about the internal pressure that builds up for them before they withdraw. Next, why they literally can't tell you they're struggling. And third, we'll discuss the unconscious cycle that keeps this pattern repeating itself. I'm Katya Morozova. I'm an attachment coach and certified NARM practitioner. On this channel, we explore attachment dynamics in relationships so that we can understand ourselves and each other and ultimately have the love that we want. If that sounds helpful to you, then definitely hit that subscribe button. First, let's talk about what's actually happening inside your avoidant partner before they suddenly withdraw. Think of it like a pressure cooker. Avoidants experience emotions and stress differently than secure people. They're constantly managing an internal threshold of emotional intensity that you can't see, well, because it's invisible, obviously. Small interactions, small moments of intimacy, even slight disagreements, all of these things add pressure to their system. But here's the crucial part. They often don't realize this pressure is building within them. They've become so used to disconnecting from their emotions that they miss the warning signs until they hit their breaking point. Next, let's address why they can't communicate before leaving. This is probably the most frustrating part for their partners. You might think, why couldn't they just tell me they were feeling overwhelmed? So here's the truth, and it might surprise you a little. In that moment when they're about to withdraw, their nervous system or their attachment system, whichever way you want to look at it, is already in survival mode. Their ability to communicate effectively literally shuts down. It's not that they won't communicate, it's that they can't. Their brain has already shifted into self-protection mode, and in their world, taking space is the communication and is the solution. Now, this is where I want to remind you that every adult ultimately has a choice of how they want to behave in a relationship. And they are responsible for those choices and how it affects the people in their life. And I'm not suggesting that you should stick around or treat a person with these challenges, these consistent challenges, with kid gloves. I'm simply reporting what it might be like for a person with this attachment style in these kind of mind-boggling moments. It's also important to note that each person is unique and every relationship has its nuances. For a personalized assessment of your situation, I recommend booking a one-on-one coaching session. You can do that right up here. Now let's talk about the cycle that keeps repeating. This pattern typically goes like this. 1. Growing intimacy or stress creates internal pressure. 2. They miss their own warning signs. 3. They hit their threshold and they hit it suddenly. 4. They withdraw without a warning. 5. They feel relief from the pressure. 6. They might return once they feel safe, depending on your relationship and the context of your dynamic. And 7, the cycle begins again. Understanding this cycle is crucial in my eyes because it helps explain why your avoidant partner might seem perfectly fine one day and completely distant on the next. They're not trying to hurt you, they're just caught in a pattern that they don't know how to break. So, is there any way to prevent this sudden withdrawal? Well, you can't control your partner's behavior and you can't control their triggers and their attachment system. There are signs that you can look for that might help you kind of reassess how you approach them when these signs are happening. The first sign is subtle increases in emotional distance. You may feel that coldness, a little bit of shortness. You might feel them kind of going away emotionally. The next sign is more frequent needs for alone time. This one's pretty self-explanatory. A pretty obvious one is delayed responses to messages. You know, if you guys are in some kind of texting routine and then that starts to change. Avoiding future plans, that one is very obvious. If someone keeps putting off plans and keeps giving you excuses, pretty quickly that starts to become a very obvious sign. And finally, increased irritability in small situations. So they might become short with you or a bit more reactive. That could be another one of those signs. Many people, these might seem like normal fluctuations in a relationship, right? Because people aren't perfect, and sometimes they can get cranky and sometimes they can feel distant, and usually you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But for an avoidant partner, these can be early warning signs of an impending withdrawal. These signs can be helpful for a couple of reasons. One, it can actually help you to name what's happening in your relationship and notice how it's actually activating you when your partner is demonstrating these signs, and help you work through your own process when they do this. And two, naming these signs and knowing that your partner might be avoidant can also help you reassess your strategy for how you choose to approach a partner like this. I know that it can feel incredibly anxious when you start noticing these signs, and maybe you don't know what to do in this kind of situation. You might worry that any action you take could push them away, and push them away faster at that. So if you'd like support with feeling more at ease about your situation, and if you'd like a plan for what's the best course of action with your avoidant partner, then I recommend booking a one-on-one coaching session where I can hear your story, assess your situation, and give you a customized plan for what to do next, or for that matter, what not to do. You can book that using the link in the pinned comment or in the description below. Did you like this video? If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to watch more videos on avoidant attachment. Next up is my video on the dismissive avoidant and what happens after they take space. You can watch that right up here. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.